Hey y'all, I filmed the rest of this video literally like I don't know how many months ago. I have math dyslexia. I filmed it in June and it is now January 20th of 2025. That's probably not even correct. But anyway, just an explanation for like the wardrobe change. Yeah, I'm just farther in life now, so the rest of this video is not really relevant to my current life. But I've been wanting to start a YouTube channel forever, and I filmed all this and just now got done editing it and like decided to actually finish it. So enjoy the following 20-minute clip. Um, it's not really. It's just me yapping. Really. I've been watching all these YouTube channels of girls just basically sitting down in front of their camera and yapping about whatever. And I do think it's a valuable thing to do to get your voice out there in any way you can. And I've struggled with perfectionism with my art and anything that I put on the internet. And I feel like it has to be perfect before it's like worthy of existing in the world. So I'm trying to let go of that and just like yap because if I wait for everything to be perfect, it's never going to come to fruition, and my voice and my ideas and my art and my life will never be heard or recognized. So, buckle in for the next 20 minutes if you want to. I don't really care. This is more of like a journal entry for me, personally. So, do what you will, and I will see you again at the end of the video because I did not actually finish filming the video from last summer. So I will watch it back and meet you at the end and give you my conclusion on my thoughts and what I've learned since I filmed the second half of this video. Bye! Hi. I've been wanting to start a YouTube channel since December of last year and I still haven't done it. Lately, I've been making these voice memos on my Dailyo app, and I can be articulate when I want to be. I'm a little awkward on camera still, but like when I'm home alone and I can just like unwind and be by myself and talk out loud to myself, I think I'm not half that bad. I don't have a microphone, by the way, so this is what we're doing. I know my audio quality is absolute dog shit, doo-doo, poopy, underwear, butthole bullshit, but bear with me. This is all I have. I'm an artist. I've been drawing since I was like 9 years old. I recently started delving into making polymer clay earrings. I actually have a pair right here that I just did. Little magic wands. It's not gonna focus. Hold on. You can sort of see them. What the fuck ever. Hopefully there's enough storage space to at least record like a 10-minute long video because I got a lot to get through and not a lot of time. I guess this all really started last summer, the beginning of my character arc. But this video is something based on something I learned in my life that I just kind of came to realize about myself. I have a confession. Currently, I am 2 months late on my rent and borrowing money from a bunch of my family and friends and loved ones to just help me squeak by, pretty much. And I'm absolutely ashamed about it, and I hate myself for that. But I just started a new job. I'm going to an interview for another job tomorrow. So I'll be working around 60 hours if it works out. I should catch up pretty fast, I think. But yeah, it's a result of this mindset that I got last summer about just hating capitalism, hating the way that this economy is run. They say kids don't want to work these days, and I am the kid that doesn't want to work. I was pissed, like seething all the time. Every day I'd go to work. I actually wanted to like, and I don't want to say that. I'll cut that out because I didn't really want to like die. but I wanted to die, you know what I mean? Like, I was not feeling it at all. And I wasn't even working that much. I was working like 30 hours a week, 25 hours a week, and before you say that I'm lazy and I need to buckle down and get my shit together, I tried my absolute hardest. Bottom line is, I'm not diagnosed, but I am like 95% sure that I have ADHD, and it makes life really difficult for me, especially since I'm not diagnosed and I'm not medicated and I'm not in therapy, which I would really love to be, but I don't have the funds right now. But that is like my top priority once I get caught up on all my debts, is to get the help that I need for that. This lighting really brings out my eye bags. Holy shit. Check out my makeup today. Yeah. So anyway, eventually it got to the point at this last job that I was working. Not the last job, but the third to last job I was working. The last, like, long-term major job that I worked. I was fucking miserable every single day, and I brought up the whole thinking that there's something going on there, because the only way I can describe it is total burnout. I go through these cycles where I self-isolate in my apartment for like weeks at a time and don't clean and just sit there and wallow in my own self-pity and feel like shit and listen to sad music. And it's really healthy for me. But that was happening more and more often because I just had this negative mindset that was, I think, making everything worse for me. I thought it was helping me, when really it was just making me ungrateful. And I kept seeing these YouTube videos. I'm sure you've all seen these YouTube videos of like these YouTube spiritual gurus like trying to tell you to follow your heart, just quit your job, just go live off your art. You don't have to be a cog in the machine. You can just throw away the need for money. Go make your own money, be your own boss, and manifest anything that you want with the power of your mind and trust in the universe. All you have to do is trust that the universe will take care of you and follow your dreams and your passions and your heart and those feelings in your soul, and you will be okay. And I believed that for the longest time. And I still do. I still believe that manifestation, or whatever you want to call it, is a powerful thing. Like, the right mindset is very important to have, and to like believe that you will have the things that you want is good, but it doesn't mean anything if it's not backed up by action, or in this case, solid planning and knowing what the fuck I'm doing. So when I heard all these videos, I was enthralled. I was like, you're right. I've been thinking this for a long time. I think the system is corrupt as shit. I think it's bullshit that we all have to work our entire lives and break our backs until we're 65, only to maybe retire. And I bought into that because that's what I believe. It's what I still believe. I think that we shouldn't have to be wage slaves. And I'm not saying, before you come at me and say that I'm just like a liberal, I don't have a problem with working. What I have a problem with is working for a corporation, a faceless corporation, who doesn't give a fuck about me or any of my coworkers. I'd much rather work for like a smaller, locally owned business, like with people that I know and love and that I know care about me. And farther back in history than even that, I think the main purpose of work, like the baseline definition of work, where you like put in physical and mental effort in order to produce an outcome of some kind, in this case being money, but in this example I'm about to bring up, just like the love and support that a family offers each other. That's the kind of work that I want to strive towards, where all the effort that I'm putting in is directly benefiting people that I care about in my community and for myself. And that's the idea that I bought into for a full year. And it's still a dream of mine, is to be able to do that. And you can't just leave your job unless you know what you're doing and unless you've known what you're doing for a very long time. If you really hate the system the way that I do and you want to escape it and you're an artist and working a 9 to 5 crushes your soul and your spirit like it does for me, I know how fucking hard it is. What I want to ask you is, would you be happier at another job? Like, at another place? And I would have answered this back in the day, like, hell no, I'm never doing this again. It's not happening. I'm not gonna go through another several months of burnout and mental breakdowns and crying behind the shelves and trying desperately to put myself together and be presentable and be a good customer service representative when I am at my absolute mental breaking point. It's difficult to navigate like burnout and shutdown, especially when you have to go to a job every single day, no matter how you feel, and you don't really get the time to like isolate or to like recuperate your thoughts or really be in touch with what you need. So I wouldn't go back to this job, but I do feel that I would have just been happier somewhere else. I still wouldn't have loved it. I still probably would have been pretty miserable. And I know I will be miserable after I really start to get into these jobs that I'm starting now. But what I've learned is that there are ways to navigate that without having to quit your whole job for it. So what happened was I quit my job. I decided I am never going to work for another corporation ever again. If I work anywhere, it's going to be somewhere small, if anywhere at all, because I really don't want to do this ever again. And I was like, I'm going to fully dive into my art business. I'm going to do commissions, and I'm going to make stickers, and I'm going to sell all this stuff on my Etsy account, and it's going to be great. I'm going to be self-sufficient. I'm going to start a self-sufficient garden. I'm going to grow vegetables. I'm going to have this beautiful fairy tale life out of nowhere. And I'm not saying to let go of that dream. That's my biggest dream. I am not telling you to not pursue that dream. What I'm saying is that you need a plan. And this is very obvious to most people, but it wasn't to me because I was at such a low mental point that I would have done anything just to escape the pain and just the pressure and absolute loathing that I felt towards every day of my life, that I would do anything to get away from that and as far away from it as possible. So getting another job didn't feel like something that I could handle mentally at the time, although looking back I think if I just had gotten like a different job, things wouldn't have been so bad. So what happened after that was I spent the whole summer doing commissions, and it started out really nice. I felt very optimistic. I was like the happiest that I'd ever been in my life. I felt so free. I felt like I'm following my heart. The universe has it all set up for me, and everything that was meant to happen is what's happening right now, and like everything was just magnificent. Candy and sugar cane and what's the term? It was all sunshine and rainbows. But what I somehow didn't account for, despite having the evidence all my life that I have these ADHD-like symptoms of not staying focused, not staying consistent with my work, leaving projects unfinished, getting really burnt out after hyper-focusing on something for a week at a time, like wanting absolutely nothing to do with anything else besides this one thing, and then all of a sudden, if I have to look at that thing, I'll throw up. I've been like that my whole life with my hobbies and stuff like that. But for some reason, I guess I was so fucking fed up with work that I was like, I will take anything over having to work this 9 to 5 for the rest of my life until I'm dead. And if that means having to work through these issues that I know that I have, then I'll do it no matter how hard it is. But it's not as easy as just saying that tomorrow things will be different and I can change because I have willpower. Neurodivergency doesn't just go away. ADHD doesn't just go away. even depression doesn't just go away. These are lifelong conditions that we actually have to accept as a part of ourselves instead of just shoving it down and wondering what's wrong with us, which is what I've been doing my whole life and is what I started doing again after I quit my job last summer. Once I started to get hit with the burnout, about a month in of doing commissions, I was banging them out. I did like 4 in 1 month, 4 or 5 like large detailed pieces. Well, they weren't detailed, but art takes me a long time, so anything that's finished in my mind is like, that shit takes me forever. So also, yeah, on top of the fact that it takes me like 12 hours to do a completed piece, I got out those 5 commissions, and after that I was just absolutely dead. Like, I did not want to do it anymore. Last summer I was doing all these commissions, I was feeling good until that burnout hit, and it hit hard. And I was months late on some of those commissions, like months late, like multiple months late. And they were asking about it every day, and I was reading the messages and acknowledging that they were there, but leaving them unread and just like scrolling away, which I do a lot still. Very avoidant in that way. Like, I just don't respond to messages. It's especially bad when it's a client that is paying me for work. But when I'm left to my own devices, especially like in my own home now, it's like so hard to stay disciplined. It's very hard to stay disciplined and regulated. But I am slowly understanding what I need in order to feel normal and to get through my days, so that's cool. And I started to question, like, is art even something that I actually want to do in my life? Like, am I just on the wrong path? Am I just doing this because that's what I've done my whole life? Like, do I even really have a passion for this? And the answer is yes. But I couldn't see it that way because at that time I was using that hobby and that passion of mine. I don't want to call it a hobby. I do want to turn it into a career at some point, in some capacity. But anyway, it turned that passion that I had into something that I was struggling to do to survive and to make money, to just eat and pay rent. And that realization didn't fully hit me because I had savings from my job, so I wasn't too worried about my consistency with the art or anything like that, because it just wasn't registering with me until I really started to run out of money. Yeah. Wow. I look like fucking Katamari. Wonder if the audio's better this way. I could finish the video this way. So I knew it was gonna happen. I knew it was gonna happen deep down, but I quit my job and just went for it anyway because that's what my heart was telling me to do. But what I did learn, aside from the fact that these problems follow me and that they're something I need to work on in all aspects of my life, there's another thing that I learned. I learned that having a job affords you the freedom to do the things that you want to do without having to worry about having to do it for survival or to monetize your hobbies or to monetize the things that truly make you happy. And it sucks because you do waste a lot of time. I don't want to say waste. I see the value of work, obviously. I know we need to do it. That's unfortunately, not even unfortunately, in certain circumstances. In this circumstance, it was unfortunate, and it is unfortunate for billions of people. We really need a reform on everything, but like work itself is a good thing, I think. I realized that I would rather have the freedom to not use my art for monetary gain than I would rather have that than have freedom away from a job which offers stability. Shortly after I left that job, I had to move to the place that I'm in now. I'll do an apartment tour soon. If I don't get evicted. I hope I don't get evicted. That would really suck. I've only been here since March. But after I quit that job, I spent the rest of my savings to get this place, so I knew I had to get a job quick. So despite knowing that I go through these burnout, meltdown, shutdown episodes, depressive episodes, anxiety-riddled episodes, I knew that I had to get a job anyway, because I need money, obviously. You can't not have money. But it was so soon after I discovered that I do need to accommodate my needs that I hadn't quite fully grasped exactly how to do that, so I wasn't really doing a great job of my coping mechanisms. I didn't really have the tools. I didn't know what to do. And what did my dumbass do? Despite all these lessons that I learned about how having a job affords financial freedom and how work is important, it just depends whether you're doing the work for the right people or not. Despite all that shit, after I ran out of money, I was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna start my art business from the ground up, and it's gonna be different than last time. Different than last summer where I got burnt out. No, now I know that I have ADHD and I know that I have these problems, and now I can figure out ways to fix them, and I can do this, and I can push through. What do you think happened, man? I did push through. I made about 15 pairs of earrings, I'd say. I think, around that. I'll put these on my Etsy soon, so you can purchase them. So basically where I left off on the video that I filmed last summer, I was just talking about how I tried to drop everything and do my art again, which obviously didn't work out. I have a full-time job now. I know I talked about in my video I was taking on 2 different jobs, which did not last very long. I quit the one after a couple months, which is fine. I still have the full-time factory job now, which is not fun, but it is what it is, and I do what I have to do to survive on this bitch of an earth. I feel like my message kind of got misconstrued, lost in the sauce a little bit in my last video that I made, because I was saying, like, the way I worded things made it sound like having a job is necessary. And in my case, it is, and in your case, it might be right now. But I just want to emphasize that it is my dream to be self-sufficient and to do my own thing and to monetize my art in some way. Just not in the way that I was doing it. Like, what I was doing with the commissions just wasn't working out for me personally. But I know I'll figure it out. And I guess I just wanted to share my lesson on how having a job offers some stability. Stability is not the most important thing in life, obviously. I mean, that's arguable. Stability is pretty important. But I think we are capable of creating that stability for ourselves if we try. Just not the way that I did it. Don't just quit your job and, like, thinking that you're gonna start a business from the ground up within a couple weeks, because that's not gonna work. Like, you're gonna be disappointed unless you're extremely disciplined and extremely capable, and not just in your head thinking like, oh, I can do this now. Like, you need evidence built up over the years and, like, confidence in yourself, and you need to have the trust in yourself that you know that you can succeed. If you don't have that foundation, nothing's going to magically fall into place for you just because that's what you want. I guess that's the main point of the video that I was trying to get across. Sorry it took 25 minutes to say something so simple. I'm just yapping. That's what this channel's gonna be, is me yapping and maybe doing some art every now and then. That's basically it. Alright, subscribe if you want to listen to me yap at you for 35 more minutes. I mean, that's the kind of content I like to see on YouTube, so I'm sure I could find at least 5 people who are down for that. You have a wonderful day, and I'll film another video very, very soon. Goodbye.